Michael, I was reading BMO's Ian Lingan this morning, who talked about recency bias when it comes to Donald Trump. Does it depend on who he spoke to last?
Well, that seems to be the case. At least it has in the past. We don't know where he's going to end up with the Fed nomination, but we do know that Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has been pushing the idea of Jay Powell. He worked with Powell in the past on some regulatory issues and feels that he will be sympathetic to the administration's goals in regulation, while at the same time keeping rates low. John Taylor's big recommendation is that he's very anti-regulatory. He's very much in the Republican orthodox mode, but his rule and his background suggest that he would favor higher rates. So a lot of questions about which way the president would want to go. And then in the background, as you mentioned, Janet Yellen, who is mildly deregulatory. She said she's open to some regulatory changes, but not really anything major. But she's definitely the low interest rate candidate.
We spoke to one guest recently who said Jay Powell would be Yellen 2.0. Is there any reason why the president shouldn't just pick Yellen 1.0, given that she's pretty clearly dovish, which is good interest rate wise for the president? You know, under her watch, the stock market as well has been at records, and there's really no reason to change. She'd also be the unusual choice for a President Trump, which might please him too, no?
It might please him, but she is a registered Democrat, and she was appointed by Barack Obama, which are two strikes against her in the conservative pantheon up on Capitol Hill. They really don't like the idea that anybody from a Democratic administration, particularly Obama's, could do anything right. And so, therefore, there's a lot of pressure on the president to dump her and take anybody. But they're not particularly happy with Jay Powell either. There are a lot of right-wing conservatives who would really like to get somebody who would shake up the Fed because they feel the Fed has too much power. So there's a lot of political games being played in Washington right now, and all we know is for sure, I'll take that back. I was going to say, we know for sure the president says he's going to do something soon, but he's said that before, and it's taken a while.